Hey guys, Ryan here from Monster Products Arm Wrestling again. Tonight we're going to be starting a bit of a series on arm wrestling pain and how we get through that initial period where it can be just so debilitating. If you've never arm wrestled before, you may not be familiar with the type of pain that we're talking about, but if you have arm wrestled or if you've given arm wrestling, the sport of arm wrestling, an attempt, then you really do know what we're getting at. You might be able to get away with one or two arm wrestles here and there and not go through this pain, but if you decide to pursue arm wrestling as a sport, guarantee you're going to go through this pain. So what is the pain that we're talking about? Okay, for me, and I'm going through a bit of the pain right now as we speak, the brachialis. Brachialis starts from about here and runs sort of midway up to between the bicep there and the tricep. Small muscle, you dig your fingers in just here. Oh, lovely how tender that can get after an arm wrestle. Such an unnatural movement, arm wrestling. We're so used to doing concentric lifts in the gym. You get onto the table, you start doing all this sort of side pressure and pronation, and all of a sudden your arm is just in the hurt locker. And now when it goes into the hurt locker, it really goes into the hurt locker. For me, my experience, I mean, just to give you guys a bit of a background, I've only been arm wrestling for about 3 months, and the first week of arm wrestling, I thought I was on top of the world. There was no pain going on. I was arm wrestling training every day. I was hitting the gym with arm wrestling specific movements, all sorts of stuff like that. And I thought, yep, I'm going to be national champion before you know it, because I'm going to be training so hard, and no one's going to be able to stop me. All of a sudden, my body started to put a bit of a halt on that plan, and the pain started kicking in. I could barely lift up a cup of coffee, let alone do any arm wrestling training, and suddenly my plans of becoming national champion in a short period of time were really put on the back burner. But look, something that I've seen so many people go through is here at Monster Products Arm Wrestling Club, we've had people come in, get all enthusiastic about the sport. They arm wrestle for a couple of hours with us on a training session. They say that they're going to come back and they're going to be here next week, and they absolutely love the sport, and they never show up again. And I suspect it's because they go through this pain from the brachialis, and as a result of that, they just think, no way can I do this. They often think that that's an injury that was only exclusive to them. But what you've got to realise, guys, and I'm sure most of you know it, that if you're an arm wrestler, or if you're trying to become an arm wrestler, you are going to go through this pain. It's something that we all see. I was watching Oleg pull against Devon in a super match just the other week, and what was Oleg doing between each round? He was sitting there icing his brachialis. Okay, so even the best of us are still going to be going through this brachialis pain. It's obviously going to get less as we go on with our arm wrestling careers, but in the initial instances, be prepared to go through some pretty excruciating pain. I've actually got mates that have admitted themselves to hospital. The pain was that bad. But yeah, so just be prepared to go through this pain. Now, the pain itself, it stems from the brachialis. The brachialis gets the micro tears from all this side pressure and pronation that we're trying to do when we're top rolling people. And what it does, as with any other muscle, those micro tears bring on some swelling. Okay, but one of the problems is we've got a nerve running under there. I think it's called the ulnar nerve from the research I've done. And when that ulnar nerve gets the pressure placed on it by the swollen brachialis, it just sends shooting pain down to the hand, up to the point of the shoulder. For me, I get some relief if I lift my arm up like this. But man, I tell you, I've gone through that many tubes of Voltaren over the last 2 months. I've probably broken the budget on Voltaren, but maybe I've overdosed, I don't know. But anyway, I've been living on Voltaren to get me through that first couple of months. Now, when I initially hit that wall of pain and just couldn't get past that anymore, I started looking for answers. I wasn't satisfied to just give the sport away. I've got a personal goal. I want to get to the top of the sport within the country for my weight class, and I'm going to pursue it as hard as I can. So if the day went by where I was sitting down and not doing anything arm wrestling specific, I felt like it was a day wasted. So what did I do? I looked up on the internet, on YouTube, I looked for some resources. Devon Larratt's got a great video out there under Arm Wrestling Rehab, where he talks about putting 3 or 4 kilos in a bag and just getting the blood flow to those tendons, getting the blood flow to the muscle, promoting some active recovery through some simple bicep movement, Um, go through all your stuff, your top roll, your hook sort of pressure, even just your cupping. Doing sort of 3 sets of 50 reps on something nice and light, nothing that is going to put stress on your muscles, but rather just get the blood flow to the tendons and start to promote that active recovery. Because ultimately, the way to get rid of that pain, the way to take the pressure off that ulnar nerve, is to simply reduce the swelling of those muscle tissues and those tendons that are so insanely inflamed. Okay, because we all know arm wrestling is not a natural movement. It's not a concentric movement the way our bodies are designed. Okay, it's this big sideways movement, and yet all sorts of pain are going to come from it. So, I guess the number one thing you can take from this is you're not alone. Okay, every arm wrestler out there is going to go through some degree of this. Some are no doubt going to be more likely than others, but we are all going to go through it. And it's just a matter of taking an active approach to your recovery to get through it. Some other things that really helped me, band work, absolutely spectacular. I've got a table here at the store that I work at, the supplement store, Monster Products, and I just rig this band up around one of the legs of the table. And I sit down and I just go through, nice and light, all the movements that I'm going to do in an arm wrestle. Okay, my rise, side pressure, inside pressure, all that sort of stuff. I just cover off nice and lightly with the band, slightly increasing the intensity as time goes by, and I'll do that for a couple of hours between customers each day. And that for me was one of the big critical moments that actually got me to the stage where I started feeling good and strong in arm wrestling again. Another one you can do is just get yourself a foam roll. Here's mine. I've got just that simple back wall. I use this to put this up against the wall and really dig into the brachialis. Just again, getting blood flowing to that area, taking pressure off that ulnar nerve is really the key for me. I guess the last thing I did was make sure I took a good joint supplement. So I think I went with Animal was the brand that I went with, but in all honesty, there's that many different joint supplements out there. I just recommend that you get your hands on one of them, take your joint supplement, do your band work, get some foam rolling action happening, and just push on through it. And if the pain is too much, start with anti-inflammatories and ice. It's going to reduce the swelling, give you some temporary relief. But in all honesty, just persistence. If you guys just are willing to put up with that bit of aggravation, there'll come that time where all of a sudden you feel awesome again. And for me, that happened very quickly. For me, it happened after about a month and a half of training. All of a sudden, I could train every day and it no longer hurt. So I guess that leaves me where I'm at now. In my training phase, I do train 7 days a week. I go heavy table time one day, then I do sort of a light intensity table time the next day, then a medium intensity table time the next day, and then I'll go and do some specific arm wrestling movements in the gym, and then I'll repeat it all over again. For me, that's worked really well. However, I guess, as I said at the beginning of the video, I'm in pain right now in this brachialis. The reason I'm in pain right now is I had my first ever tournament on the weekend, and I think it really surprised me. The intensity levels of the tournament are certainly way above what we normally do in training. I think it's that sudden ready go and that strike of all that power that has shocked the system once again. But what is it? It's Thursday now, so it was last Saturday that I had the tournament, and still by Thursday I'm very sore. I had maybe probably 9 or 10 customers coming today that took me up on the challenge of seeing if they could get the free shaker with their protein purchase. Lucky for me, I kept all of my protein, all of my shakers safe today. Didn't lose any, but I tell you, I am in the hurt locker right now. I've had to rub some Voltaren and take some anti-inflammatories because I could barely use the cash register and punch in the numbers. Anyway, guys, so this is just kind of the first intro to the arm wrestling rehab. I'll try to provide you with some links and all sort of stuff to places where you can get some good joints, formulas, rubber bands, that sort of stuff. Soon, my website's currently being developed, monsterproducts.com.au. Once it's up, we'll be selling all this sort of stuff, so it can hopefully be your one-stop shop for everything you need arm wrestling. Other than that, guys, wish you all the best with getting through your arm wrestling pain. Just remember, you're not alone. There's resources out there, and the number one thing is just stay focused on arm wrestling. Keep doing light work in arm wrestling specific movements. The worst thing you can do is just stop everything and feel sorry for yourself and think that you're the only one going through it. If you take that approach, when you do come back to arm wrestling in a few weeks' time, it's just going to be on all over again. So guys, take an active approach to your recovery, and we'll be back and arm wrestling at your best before now. Alright guys, well thanks for listening, and I'll see you again next time.